Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another video in review. And we are back here at the Potential Podcast. I'm Taylor Sokol, joined by Chris Dewar here. And we're very excited to join with a new show, brand new show, starting off here with Disney Plus's The Falcon and the Winter Solder. We're really excited about this. A lot of anticipation here rolling around for this one. And we're excited to dive in to this episode right away. Of course, we're just coming off of the high known as WandaVision. You know, the phenomenon that really kind of blew the MCU TV universe as the continuation. And everyone's been kind of really excited. We've been like, wow, what's going to be next? And now we're jumping into something very new, very different, but also still in that same universe with some characters that we are familiar with. I'm really pumped about this show, and wow, it was really awesome to get back and dive into these characters.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've seen either of them. Again, Avengers Endgame was kind of our last big movie for a lot of these characters. So WandaVision was our first kind of relaunch into the MCU, and we're kind of getting suited up for phase 4 in terms of the films. So this is kind of tied into that. They did say that this is supposed to be taking 6 months after the events of Endgame. So, at this point, Captain America, as we know it, Steve is retired. He's living his life. So he's done. And then, of course, Tony has passed. So there has to be some people need to kind of step up the ranks to take on some of these iconic roles. And we know that at the end of Endgame, Steve Rogers had given his famous shield to Sam, and Sam was like, doesn't feel right, doesn't feel like it's mine. And of course, Captain America was like, it is yours. He's passed on the torch. So now we're excited to see, okay, Falcon, he's always been the right-hand man. Now can he take it and step up to the plate to become the moniker of Captain America, which is a tough one to fill, in terms of this situation. So anyway, but we also have the Winter Soldier, who, poor Bucky has still been kind of dealing with these psychological horrors of his past, being this supreme assassin that, did all these murders and stuff, and he's still having visions of that. So I'm kind of liking that they're kind of looking at these two not main characters and seeing how they can evolve in this show. And Taylor, come on, that first sequence of this show was explosive. I mean, it was dynamite. We kind of said that WandaVision was lacking, not having a ton of action. Well, this show hit the ground running. This whole first season of Falcon was so awesome and so impressive. And we got a little throwback of a character from Winter Soldier, which was pretty cool, wasn't it? I think it was Winter Soldier, or was it Civil War?
No, that'd be Winter Soldier. You're referring to actually the initial scene from that
on the ship. That's right.
When they do the kind of the ship heist, so to speak. So yeah, that was definitely reminiscent. Felt like very the Winter Soldier-esque. I think the action was amazing. I mean, you feel like you're in a blockbuster film. So right away, I was like, oh my gosh, this is great. I was able to watch this with my family, and they were like, well, this is going to be cool. So it really hits you right away there. But like you said, it was very exciting to kind of go on the journey with these characters that aren't necessarily, top billing. As, Sam, who is playing, Sam, and Sam, who is the Falcon, he like you say, he's been a very sidekick. And in the movies, he's just been kind of like, Captain's right-hand man doing his thing. And this one, it's like we're a little diving more into his past. We get to see his family. And also what I really liked is it's still dealing with the effects of Endgame as the snap and then the blip of bringing people back. It's really talking about, what it was like for people. It did a little bit in WandaVision, but this one was like to the next level. Like, people like when they went to get a bank loan, like, well, you haven't been getting money in years. Well, yeah, I was not in existence.
I didn't exist for 5 years.
So
I
like
that they're playing into that.
Yeah, tying into the effects of that film. It's not as simple as, okay, people were gone for 5 years. They were wiped out of existence. Let's bring them right back like that. It's a little bit more complicated than that. as opposed to, the old comic books and stuff. Like, oh, the end of the day is saved. No, it's like real world consequences. So I really did like that. And like I said, as seeing Bucky really kind of trying to assimilate more to life, because unlike Captain America, well, like Captain America, they both were on ice, so to speak, and kind of they've over 100 years old, and so they've been man out of time. But Bucky never really has had a normal life and be able to relate to anyone, and it's only very recently that he's kind of come to the light and is washed away. That it seems like it just was, it was like years ago in film, but in timeline of the MCU, it's not been that long of his kind of rehabilitation.
Yeah, and they definitely played into that earlier. And we had that kind of cool scene at the end of Black Panther. We got the idea that he was kind of in a recovery mode in Wakanda, and they were trying to help his brain to not be stuck in this mode where if you say the wrong words in sequence, he often flips the switch and
It's like
becomes
Wakanda rehab he was in.
Yeah,
Basically.
so
Yeah.
and now I like that he's kind of still in, seeing a therapist, and he's trying to like make amends with maybe some people that he's hurt or, killed family members from the past. And I like that they had this kind of sweet story in this one of this older, man that he kind of shares sushi with, and we get a flashback scene and a dream sequence of he actually killed his son on a mission when he was in the
Yeah.
Winter Soldier moment. So we're kind of getting this that kind of Frankenstein monster has more than meets the eye, and that's something that's always been appealing about Bucky's. We've seen the evolution of he was that good guy, best friend of Steve Rogers, turn into this monster, and
This
then his
ultimate weapon. Yeah.
recovery. And so it's kind of neat that he didn't really have a lot of action in this episode. He was a lot more of the thinking, more of the drama. But as with anything, with any sequence, if there's going to be an event where especially a lot of your heroes are gone, there's going to be some new bad guys. There's always going to be some new bad guys, and we get the small sequence of a soldier that is friends with the Falcon, and he's kind of using this app to kind of see where these members might be, and like a staged attack's about to happen, and some of these guys have some kind of strong tech or something going on because they can kick people way far away. There's one that was in particular was a big kind of brute guy, and they have these kind of masked. It actually made me think about it. Made me think of Lord of the Rings. They
Yeah.
have the Saruman with like the hand on the helmets and stuff. It was like a red hand print of some kind of mask shape that was on this thing. And of course, I think it was Bucky at one point who said something like, "Wait, do you think it was?" And I think he was, of course, alluding to Zemo, who we know is definitely the main villain of this show. But we haven't seen him back since I think Civil War was the last time we saw him in
Yeah.
screen. So I'm interested to see where they're going to go with this villain, this new group of bad guys. Eventually, obviously Falcon and Winter Soldier have to team up to probably save the day. But it was a good, fresh first episode. It had a really smart, awesome first action sequence, and then it was more just kind of story building. They didn't have a lot more action in the rest of the show. I know we're going to get a lot more of
Yeah,
that.
but it was compelling. I enjoyed it. Like it wasn't like too slow.
No.
But a couple highlights I will say right off the bat was really great is seeing we got to see Don Cheadle's Rhodey,
Mm-hmm.
which was a nice little continuation of that. Some of these kind of like characters, and it will be exciting to have these little bit of
Cameos
Easter
and
eggs,
other
Easter eggs and
appearances. Yeah.
cameos. So,
Mm-hmm.
which I really like that, and that would like it added some heart to it and a little gravitas to
Yeah.
not only Captain kind of sacrificing himself in a way, but also Tony. But of course, speaking of Captain America, it leads into this very interesting sequence where the United States decides to crown their next Captain America, which still
Random Joe Bill Bob.
I know this cracked
We
me
don't
up.
know who it is.
It
Yeah.
looked like Carl Weezer from or Carl what his name was from Up, just had a mascot. It just like
Yeah.
this like hi. It's like okay, we didn't order that, so it was very like all right. So who's this guy? This diet or Captain America Light, and what's he gonna mean for the Falcon and the Winter Soldier since they are the title characters? What's they going to mean for their team up, or how are they going to team up with him, or is he
Yeah.
a super soldier like Captain? Because again, they haven't really talked about that serum.
And the fact that, Falcon, Sam actually did this whole induction ceremony of kind of almost like the Smithsonian in a way. There was kind of this thing of giving up the shield to the exhibit that is all based
Kind
on
of
Captain
putting him into
America.
race. It was kind of like
And
a funeral
then
to
there was
him.
that
Yeah.
really cool shot. It was in the trailer as well, but there was that really cool shot after Rhodey kind of has this chat with him, and then we kind of get this glimpse from the case, and you see a little bit of the red, white, and blue kind of with the light effect, kind of almost like reflected onto him as he's looking at it. And it's like,
Yeah.
this could be, it's not just automatically just because he was handed the shield that he wants to take up Captain America, but this could be, just as we had with WandaVision taking on the Scarlet Witch. If by the end of this show he is now officially Captain America, that could be really big for Phase 4 and the future of this series. So exciting, great start. Really, I like the tone of it so far, and with only 5 more episodes, but I think these are all going to be about the 45-minute to an hour long. So I think they'll be a little longer than most of WandaVision. Great first episode for Falcon Winter Soldier. So I'm so excited to check out as future episodes come on. And we'll, of course, be doing more weekly reviews for this.
Yes,
And
we will.
we want to hear your thoughts. What do you guys think of the episode? So
Yeah, put
leave
in the
some comments down
here.
below. We want to hear what you guys are thinking of the show because, it's awesome. And as always, check out the Potential Podcast because we got a lot of great content. We're currently in season 2. So stay tuned for more. And Taylor, we are the Avengers.